grocery store development.
Welcome board members. My name is Nima Kulkarni and I'm joined by my teammates today, Krishna Narusu, Christopher Glennon, and Fred Muir. Together we are Team Digby 67. Our team's corporate strategy is to be a cost leader with a product lifecycle focus. Our long-term goal is to become the dominant market share leader in the industry. Team Digby's focus is on the high, traditional, and low-end segments. Generally, our products begin in the high-end segment, mature into the traditional segment, and finish their lives in the low-end segment.
Thank you, Nima. Board of Directors, we created a model to track and project the changes in position of each of our products in each segment. The goal of this was to position products such that after their revision date or release date, they would drift across the ideal point in that segment approximately 6 months later. Because our strategy was to concentrate on the low-end, traditional, and high-end segments, we chose to produce 2 new products in the high-end and only 1 in the size segment. We chose those segments because those markets appreciated new products. We achieved our goal to have 2 products in each of the segments that we were concentrating on, and they are positioned very well. We chose to achieve this by moving products between segments. The original products in the high-end and size market transitioned to the traditional market, and the original product in the traditional market transitioned to the low-end. The choice to move segments created difficulty in estimating production, and we do not plan to repeat that process in the future. We will continue to release new products in the high-end segment and occasionally in the size market. To achieve this, we will phase out older products in these segments. The rest of the segments only require that products continue to be revised. We have established a competency in positioning our products to be successful, and we expect this to continue. Now I'm going to turn it over to Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Now I'm going to talk about the sales forecasting and production schedule. In the initial round, we picked up a few strategies which didn't work out very well. For the sales forecasting, we used a complex calculation using the revision date, which didn't give the results as expected. And we tried to switch segments from high to traditional and traditional to low. So because of that, we couldn't predict the demand very well, and we didn't price the products very well. And we were being optimistic, so we bought a lot of capacity, and we didn't utilize the plant well. As you can see, in the initial rounds, we had a high production, and we had a lot of inventory for a few products, and we stocked out for a few products. And in the initial round, our stock price went down dramatically, and we didn't utilize the plant well. We followed the same strategy in the next round, and our stock price went down further. After 3 rounds, we learned our lessons. We started using different strategies for different things. For sales forecasting, we used the potential sales from previous round and multiplied with growth and projected it as a sales forecast. This is a very conservative approach. So we produced 2 to 3 months worth of inventory on top of sales forecast. And we tried to use the plant as much as possible, and we tried to stopping switching the segments. So the results showed up instantly. The next round, our stock price went up, and we started selling our capacity. And in the next round, our capacity got down further, and our stock price went high further. And in the 8th round, we were in the second spot, and we were utilizing the plant very well. After 8th round, we invested in the capacity and automation. So for the next round, our labor cost and margin will be pretty good. Now Nima is going to take over.
Action.
Thank you, Krishna. I'm going to be discussing the promo and sales portion of our marketing strategy, as well as TQM strategy and overall results that our team experienced. In general, our promo and sales budgets were increased every round based on the optimal combination of advertising and promotional options available to us. Major increases in promotion and sales budgets occurred in the middle rounds, as products were revised and or moved into different segments. As an example, in round 4, we spent a total of $16 million in promo and sales, which, as you can see, resulted in low customer awareness and accessibility scores on the balanced scorecard. In round 8, we spent an average of $23 million on promo and sales, an increase of about $7 million, which translated to much higher scores on the balanced scorecard. It should be noted that Digby focused specifically on customer awareness in rounds 7 and 8, which should result in substantial improvement in customer awareness in the near future. Moving on to TQM initiatives, our team spent a total of $4 million over rounds 3 and 4 in order to reduce material costs specifically. However, this resulted in low scores on the balanced scorecard for R&D reduction, admin cost reduction, and marketing increase. In response, in rounds 5 through 8, we increased TQM spending to focus on R&D cycle reduction time, administrative cost reduction, and market demand increase, resulting in a total expenditure of $28 million. In round 8, as a result, we moved closer to achieving preferred cost reduction goals in R&D and admin, and enjoyed a corresponding increase in market demand, resulting in perfect scores across the board in those segments on the balanced scorecard. As you can see, our team is an industry leader in cost reductions resulting from TQM initiatives. And now I'll hand it over to Fred, who will discuss HR and finance.
Thank you, Nima. I am going to cover Digby's HR and finance strategy. So in round 3, when the human resources module was open, we initially looked at what the computer companies were spending for recruiting and also the amount of training they were allowing employees. And this resulted in low balanced scorecard results in round 4 in the initial rounds. But this is our results as of round 8. So we increased our recruiting spend to the maximum amount that would allow returns, and then also our training hours were maximized to 80. So this brought us to among the industry leaders in turnover rate, which was 6.3. So now going through our finance process, this was basically the last step of each round. And we looked at how much money we needed for production, for R&D, and marketing. And with this, we kind of came to an amount that was reasonable and decided how much was needed to finance. There were 2 factors that we looked at each time, and that was would we have enough cash at the end, and we looked at the pro forma cash flow statement to determine that. And initially we didn't have enough buffer, and we also sometimes were over optimistic in our sales forecast. So we learned from those mistakes and lowered our sales forecast and also increased our buffer. The second criteria we looked at was the leverage ratio. And this is again the results from round 8. And 1.8 is very close to the target ratio of 2. And this is also among the industry leaders. Thank you. In summation, our management team has learned a lot of lessons in the 8 years of managing Digby. But we feel that our lessons learned can be beneficial to Digby in a competitive sensor market. So we've decided to continue our corporate strategy of being a cost leader and focus on traditional high and low markets. However, we're going to drop the product life cycle phase of our industry and not switch segments. This is a challenging goal for any company, and we've decided keeping the products that we have in their current segments will maximize our market share. So this will allow us to compete as an industry leader and be able to continue our profitable trajectory as was started in round 6 and 7. We've learned that this will be an effective strategy, and we will anticipate dominating market share and be able to compete with the current leader, Erie. Thank you.